Hi again, everybody. Robin Hook with you at Burdick's, downtown Kalamazoo in the Radisson for another Bronco Coaches Show here on Mondays starting at 6:30. Come on down and watch the show in person or catch us anytime on demand at WMUBroncos.com on YouTube Live. Joined now by the MAC Coach of the Year and Women's Soccer, Lewis Robinson. Another championship year for this guy and his team. And congratulations, Coach. MAC regular season and tournament championships.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We're excited for another week.
Second year in a row, the Broncos have won the regular season and the tournament championship. Third year in a row, they've won the regular season, and now it's back to the NCAA tournament. You got your draw earlier today. Going to meet the Wisconsin Badgers in Madison on Friday. We'll talk more about that in a minute, but what an outstanding performance in Columbus. That was cool to play there, right, for your championship?
Yeah, it was a great experience. You know, that stadium has so much history to it with the games that have been on in the MLS and the U.S. national team. So they really did a good job of making a special occasion for us. And I thought the girls obviously got the job done, which makes it a lot sweeter to drive home with the trophy again, right?
Yeah, and you got Ball State in the semifinals. 1-0 in that one. Tell us about that game.
Yeah, it was tough. They were a very tough defensive team. We scored an early goal, and we just kind of got the job done in it, you know. And that's what tournament soccer's about sometimes. We'd have loved to score another few goals and make it a little bit more exciting, but we kind of felt like we dominated from there defensively and did a professional job of seeing it out and got on to the next one.
It's not necessarily that you're a defensive-minded team. You play great defense. You've got some scorers on your team, but the other team plays defense too, so all you got to have is one if you shut them out.
Yeah, and I think when you go into the tournament as the number one seed, it's kind of like everybody else's goal is to try to stop you from scoring, right, rather than coming out to play. So any team we were playing was always trying to just defend mostly, I think, and try to keep us off the board. So it's difficult to play in that kind of environment. And when you get an early goal like we did in the first game, we were also a little bit kind of safe from there. And I think defensively we've got a really solid structure that we're able to lean on, sit back on, and, like I say, get to the final whistle and get on to the next one.
That goal against Ball State came on a set piece. Tell us about the goal and how it all unfolded.
Yeah, it's something that we've worked on a lot here the second half of the season to turn that into a little bit more of a strength of ours. So yeah, it was a second phase ball like most of them are, and Abby Baldridge found herself in a great position and put it away, which is how those ones usually come.
So you move on to the championship game. You play Bowling Green. You know Bowling Green very well. You played them a lot. They're a really good team, and that one went into the second half scoreless. I know hearing some of your comments, you weren't really pleased with the first half, but wow, the girls turned it on in the second half.
Yeah, hopefully you couldn't hear too much on the ESPN from the bench there. But no, all credit to the players in that final one, because I think looking back on it, it was one of the worst halves we played in that first half, whether that was on us, whether it was on the opponent, on the day. They were a good team, really good team, Bowling Green, and they made it difficult for us. And, we played a really bad half. And I think that second half can go one of two ways, right? Like either they keep building on momentum, but I thought the players came out in the second half and played a really, really good half. The complete opposite of what we did in the first half, and thoroughly deserved to win in the end. I thought dominated from halftime to the final whistle, and we felt really good about that. And the response, you need that response in those tournament games. You need the toughness, the resilience to be able to kind of look in the mirror and take accountability and be able to step up and fix some things that we needed to fix for the second half, right?
Yeah, that's what you said after the game, that your team owned it. They owned their first half. They knew they didn't play well and were determined to turn it around in the second half, and they certainly did.
Yeah, and I think teams can go two ways in those moments, right? You can look in those moments and real easily blame the opponent, blame the weather, think maybe it's not all true, or you can look within and say, like, what can I do to fix it, and what can we do as a team to lean on each other and be better. And credit to the girls, that's a big strength that we have is we got some real high character people in the team that I think own the moment, and they definitely came out and responded in the second half to do what we needed to do to get a win.
You got that goal from Heidi Thomasma on a beautiful assist from Drew Martin. Talk about that play.
Yeah, what a great goal. What a great goal to finish it. There weren't many chances in the game, right? It was a little bit cagey and tight, like you get in those games. But, I mean, if you want to have a moment of quality and passion to get over the line to win it, I mean, I think that's the one, right? A fantastic dribble and cross from Drew, and Heidi's been working on that all season to get on the end of those balls and put them in the right place, and she put her whole body and face on the line, I think, to get it over, and it feels so good when it hits the back of the net, right?
Yeah, she was kind of blocked out from the camera angle, but it looked like it went off her forehead.
Yeah, I think face, forehead, something like that. But it was great. I mean, what a great play, a great moment from her, and she deserved it. She was a monster all week, and it was nice to get over the line with her.
What's it like when you go that long without scoring and you finally get one on the board? It's kind of a sense of relief, kind of, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I'm sure the girls can tell you more what they felt about it. But yeah, it's relief, it's celebration quick, and then you kind of look at the clock and realize you still got like 30 minutes to go. So you got to, it's only going to be harder from there now. So you got to get ready for the next half of the half. But yeah, it was a great moment. I mean, seeing these guys that work so hard all season to have that moment and see everybody together, it's a great feeling for sure.
Yeah, the goal came in the 60th minute. You still got 30 minutes of soccer to play.
Yeah, I think that's what you realize when they get back to kick off again, right? You think there's still 30 minutes to go here. We gotta figure it all out, and then your opponent is coming at you with 3 more players at that point. So it's good, but we feel as a team that once we get up like that and we get ahead, I think we've got such mature and experienced defensive players that we're comfortable to see them out. I think that's what we did again. It might not always be the prettiest at that point, but you've just got to stick together, defend together, and wait for our moments. And the girls did an amazing job of managing the clock, managing the game, and getting to the final whistle.
Well, the team got to the NCAA tournament last year. This year's team, well, they wanted to repeat on their own merit. 16-3-1 overall, 10-1-1 in the conference, most wins in a single season in program history. They got the coach of the year, they got the midfielder of the year, you got the defensive player of the year. 3 straight MAC regular season titles, and wow, how does this team compare to some of those other ones you've had?
Yeah, I think each team kind of builds on the last team, right? You're always a new team every year. You can't be the same team, but I think you learn things from the last team and the teams before. I told the girls last week, I think our team right now is a result, at least in my time of being here, of the last 4 years. We've learned things each year, and we've been great in moments and not so great in other moments, and you learn those lessons every year. I think personally it's one of the hardest things to do in soccer is to win the third time when everybody's chasing you and you add new teams in the league. So I think we're really proud to be able to do it again this year, which was definitely the hardest year we've had. But these girls, there's a world, I think we're a little bit grittier. I think we're a little bit stronger defensively maybe than we were last year. And we've got lots of different ways to score goals this year, which I think last year obviously we had Jen Blitchok leading the front line, and which was amazing. I think we sometimes got a little bit predictable. I think this year we've got 9, 10, 11 players that can win you games in the right moments. And I think that's really hard for opponents to prepare for. And I think it's also fun for the girls to play in, that you don't know who's going to be the game winner on the day, right? Or have those opportunities too. So it's a different team, but I think we really share some of the grit and the relentless attitude that we've had the last couple of years, and going to take that motivation into the next week.
Well, I know one reason why you're better on defense. You got Mira Pierre-Webster back in the lineup after she had to miss all of last year with an injury, and she was the defensive player of the year the previous year, missed all last year, and comes back, and she's the defensive player of the year once again.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, right? To win an award like that in a new position that she hadn't played before, and then be out for a whole year and come back and win it again. I think it's really, really impressive and well deserved. We certainly missed Mira last year for sure, and but at the same time, she really spent a year working on herself and found a way to help the team win some games from the sideline. And I think we get the reward of that now as she comes back a more experienced leader, and maybe with an even bigger appreciation of what she gets to do and the team that she gets to do it in. And we've definitely reaped the rewards of that this year for sure, and a very well-deserved award.
And to be a good team in soccer, you got to be good in the middle of the field. You got a midfielder, Drew Martin, who's outstanding. She was the MAC midfielder of the year, career high in points with 23 goals with 6 and assists with 13, single season program record with 13 assists. Talk about Drew's game.
Yeah, Hollywood Drew. She's had quite a season. She's another great story. You know, she's been stepped up at moments throughout her career here as a Bronco and won us a few games and had some great moments, but certainly hasn't had the straightforward career that she would hope for. But I think through it all, she's worked so hard and found ways to improve her game for 3 straight years, and then you see what she's done this year to be legit the top midfielder in the league is an impressive performance every single week, which she's done, and real highly motivated player with a ton of technical ability and a great attitude to find ways to win games. So I'm really proud of her and pleased that she's stuck it out and find a way to become our leader, and she stepped up in all the big games, and no doubt she'll do the same this weekend.
All right, this weekend you go to Madison, Wisconsin. You take on the Badgers. They finished 5th in the Big Ten. Here's a team that you played in the past, tied them 1-1, I think, in the last time you met Wisconsin. Not that matters this year, but kind of fun to play somebody other than Notre Dame or Michigan State or somebody like that. I don't think your team wanted to play either one of those schools. You got a team that you don't see all the time, Wisconsin.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's it. You know, the Notre Dame Michigan State one is nice because it's right down the road. I think it's a little bit more of a trek for our fans and our supporters. But they'll make it, I'm sure, and we'll show out like they always do. And I think for us as a team, it's a great draw. You know, we're excited, like you say, to play someone a little bit different where we don't necessarily know them inside out like we do some of these local teams. So it'll be a great game, and I know we're really motivated for it. We played them in a close game last year, and I think whoever we play, whoever we drew today, I think we feel like we have a good chance. I think we feel like we might be the unranked team that nobody wants to play, and I think that's a great place to be. You know, I think we'll embrace that, and we know we're going to be an underdog in any of these games, and I think we know that the other team and the other staff, they're not going to want to play us, and I think we're the name that nobody wanted to see come up, and we'll enjoy that on Friday for sure.
Great stuff. Lewis Robinson, MAC Women's Soccer Coach of the Year. Congrats on a great season. Congrats on getting to the NCAA tournament, and good luck this weekend, all right?
Thank you, Robin. Appreciate it.
We're going to take a break. We're going to come back and talk with 2 soccer student athletes next. Mayor Pierre Webster and Drew Martin join us on the Bronco Coaches Show. Verdicts after this timeout.
Flavor is a journey, not a destination. It's not just about the food. It's about the experience. It's about the cocktails, the wine, the tableside experience.
Brings everything together between the setting, the meal, the atmosphere, so we can actually get together and have a great time over a cocktail, maybe with a little showy smoke to it too, which is fun.
We've paid a lot of attention to details and making it an experience that you will remember.
Immerse yourself at Brick and Brine.
Sprain, strain, or broken bone? Bronson makes it easy to get the orthopedic care you need, often as soon as the same day. Our providers treat patients ages 5 and older, with convenient appointments in Battle Creek, Marshall, Kalamazoo, and South Haven. From diagnosis to treatment, our goal is to get you feeling better as soon as possible. Call us when you need orthopedic care. Learn more at bronsonhealth.com/same day.
You'll still have common days. Put off your term papers till the last minute. Eat cold pizza right out of the fridge. Update your fantasy roster. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
It's more than a move. It's a new job for her. A new baseball team for him. And for Badger, it's a new yard with more room to roam. It's more than a move, and we're more than a truck.
Back at Verdicts on the Bronco Coaches Show. I'm Robin Hook, voice of the Broncos, and we're talking women's soccer, and we're talking with 2 outstanding student athletes for this Western Michigan team, 2 veterans that are going to the NCAA tournament to take on Wisconsin. We'll start with team captain Mira Pierre Webster. Defensive Player of the Year in the Mid-American Conference. And Mira, it's just great to have you back on the pitch because you had to miss all last year. That had to be heartbreaking when that injury occurred and you weren't able to play, but to come back from that and just pick up where you left off the previous season is pretty amazing, and hats off to you.
Yeah, it was definitely tough because the season before I was just gearing up for it was going to be my last season, graduating with my class. I had a big class, about 10 people, and I remember in February I was so ready. I'm like, we got this, our last season, we're going to go out with a bang, and then it happened. I tore my ACL, and it definitely wasn't planned, obviously, but I think that there was a purpose in that because I got to come back and I got to be a part of this team and help lead this team, and I think I'm very grateful for that, and it taught me a lot, especially coming back, having to do rehab, be on the sideline, be that cheerleader. I learned how to lead when I'm not on the field, so a lot of those traits definitely made me a better person.
And now you get to play in an NCAA tournament because you couldn't play last year when they went to the NCAAs, so that's got to be exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I just remember like when we were playing Bowling Green, I'm like, we have to win, we have to get back to back, and it's definitely a new opportunity for me to be a part of this team and play in the NCAAs. I think that watching on the sideline last year gave me a different perspective, and now since I have that perspective and I'm able to play, I think both of those combined, I think it'll be good.
MAC Defensive Player of the Year in 2023 and again in 2025 after missing last season. And I don't know, you kick in a little offense there once in a while too, had a goal and a couple of assists. So when you're on the back line focusing on D, it's not easy to score goals, but every once in a while, huh?
Yeah, I was so excited when I scored that Eastern game because I knew before I graduated I wanted to at least get one goal, and it happened, and it was, I guess, the only goal, and I was so excited. I got to celebrate with my team, and it was at home, so it was an exciting moment.
Now she's from Whitby, Ontario. How'd you end up at Western Michigan, Mira?
I honestly can't tell you because thinking back, that was a long time ago, 5 years ago, and I just remember the head coach did reach out to me. And then from there, I started conversation with him, and I knew that I wanted to go to a school that was more family-oriented, and that's what Western was, so I chose here.
All right, and then Coach Robinson came and joined the program. What's it been like playing for him now?
Yeah.
He's kind of no-nonsense guy. I hear him here on the sidelines this week. He was coaching.
Yeah, he definitely has helped our program tremendously. From when I was here prior, we were maybe 9th out of 12 teams, and we were at bottom of the bracket, and when he came, our program completely switched around, which I'm very grateful for. He brought in some transfers and just our playing style, changed it up a bit, and now we're back to back-to-back champs, so I'm very grateful for that.
Have you always played defense in the back end?
Pardon, sorry?
Have you always played defense?
Yes, I used to be an outside back, and then I transitioned to center back my junior year. Either one, I feel like I don't have a preference, so.
All right, things weren't going so well against Bowling Green in the first half, but you guys kind of flipped the switch there at halftime and got the job done.
Yeah, I just remember halftime we were talking, we were saying how we were playing wasn't us. We have to believe that we can win this. It was definitely a mental game, and we just weren't switched on. And so coming halftime, we sat down all together and we're like, what can we do to switch on mentally? Because it doesn't look like we believe that we can win. And so we just talked about that and how we have to go out and play like it's our last game, because it very well could have been. And then going into the second half, I think we started to believe in ourselves more and that we can be the better team as long as we perform, and we did that.
All right, your name came up on the screen earlier this afternoon when you learned that you're playing Wisconsin. What do you think about that draw?
I'm very excited for that draw. I think it's a good team. We played them last year, and we drawed, so I think that it's a good matchup, and yeah, we'll see how it goes, but I'm very confident. We're still an underdog. We like to keep that mentality that drives us, so I'm excited still, though.
All right, Drew Martin's here. Tell me about Drew first, Mira. What's it like playing with Drew? Tell me about her game.
It's amazing playing with Drew. She has an infectious personality. She always hypes up our team. Her pregame speeches too. Even on the field, like I just love the player she is on the field. She's able to hold that ball. I know every time I can give it to her in the midfield, she's able to turn, cut a player, and then go to goal. She's very much that structure in the midfield, so very grateful for her.
All right, hand that mic over to Drew Martin. Let's talk with her. Senior from Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. midfielder of the year in the Mid-American Conference, and some pretty impressive numbers: 23 points, 5 goals, 13 assists. She had the assist that scored the winning goal against Bowling Green. Let's start right there. Tell us about that play, Drew. Set up your teammate Heidi Thomas to bang one off her face into the back of the net.
Yeah, set pieces we've talked. I know Lewis spoke a lot about us trying to make that a key point, and then taking those corners, you can kind of hope that I can just get a good service in, and maybe we can score just a pretty header off the first one and celebrate. But it ended up being came back out to me, and I had a lot of time and space, and then kind of been in that situation before where the best thing you can do is just put it back in the box and hope for the same thing. And then Heidi did, and I don't even know how she does some of the things she does, just like that, like an unreal athletic, push somebody down while she's doing it, put it in the top corner, doesn't even give anybody really a chance to do anything about it. And then that was just such a good relief, because normally once we go up, our kind of team knows what we have to do in order to see the game out.
Yeah, Coach mentioned you had a tough first half, but you guys buckled down there after half and turned it up a notch or two.
Yeah, kind of what Mira spoke on. We knew that we weren't doing the simple and kind of brainless work right, which is something that we're always pretty good at. And so at halftime, I know Mira did a really good job at just sitting us down, being like, we don't look like we want to win. We clearly want to win this game. What are we going to do? And everybody kind of just got up for it and realized we can choose to do this right now. And then we started doing it right. Our defensive shape got a lot better. Everybody locked in and bought into the process. Our bench did a really good job at kind of pushing us across the line, which helped a ton. And then we were able to find a way.
It's tough to win a MAC championship. It's tough to win a MAC tournament championship. You guys have done it back-to-back years. And I know in hearing some of the comments from your team, you guys wanted to make this a championship season on your own merit. And last year was great, but this is a whole new year. You got new players. You got players in different roles and different leaders, and just want to do it for yourself.
Yeah, I think we have a good mix of new players that we're able to get so bought into this process, but we also have players that have been here before, know what it's like to win it, know what it's like to lose, and a staff that knows the same. And I think I played a different role than in this championship run that I did last year, but I think the only way we were able to do that is the past year, teams showing us the way, showing us how to do it, and it's not always pretty, and it's not always maybe the way we want to go, just compared to the Buffalo win was 5-0 last year, and this one was a little bit more gritty of a win, but we had players and experience that knew how to get it done.
Right, you're really good at the assist. What's the key to a good assist? I mean, you don't want to, you got to have some touch on that pass, don't you?
I think the key is definitely the person who scores the goal. I can just do what I can to set them up, but our team has such good finishers, and I'm just lucky to be part of it.
All right, you get to play Wisconsin. Oh, I also wanted to ask you, have you always played soccer? Were there any other sports in your background?
It was always soccer, but I played a little bit of volleyball and gymnastics.
All right, well, that helps you. I am very an outstanding proponent of playing multiple sports as a younger person, and then maybe later on you settle in on one that you think you can really excel at. But that helps you as an athlete, right?
Yeah, totally. I have an older brother, and my parents kind of just threw me into every single sport he was doing, getting us out of the house, getting us experience like that, and I think it definitely did help, and definitely the competitive side to sports.
All right, you get Wisconsin this Friday, 8 o'clock in Madison. What do you know about them?
I know we played them last year, and it was a good game. It was a gritty, ended up 1-1. We don't know much about them as they're kind of farther away. We haven't played them much other than that, but we'll take this team against anybody, so we're excited.
Did you play them here or at their place?
It was at Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. So you've been there, so you don't have to worry about the newness of going there because you played there.
Yeah, that'll be helpful for sure. We know the trip sort of, we know the area maybe a little bit, and just a little bit of experience would help.
So this will be your second NCAA tournament. What's the goal here? Maybe take the next step?
Yeah, the goal is always to win. Us against them, we're going to do as much as we can, work our very hardest.
All right, what's next after Western Michigan for you? I know you're an outstanding student, too.
The hope is med school. So,
Med school. We've
Yeah.
got one of those here.
yeah.
All right. Well, wherever you land, good luck to you. Mira,
you.
what's next for you after this long NCAA tournament run you're about to go on?
Well, I have a couple options, but I did get offered to work as a nurse at Royal Oak Cornwall, so that's one of the options too.
Well, whatever you do, good luck. And
Thank you.
tremendous season by both of you guys. Thanks for all
Thank
you've
you.
done as Broncos, and good luck this weekend against Wisconsin.
Thank you so much.
Drew Martin and Mira Pierre Webster joining us. We're going to shift gears and talk a little hockey with your defending national champion, Coach of the Year, Pat Ferschweiler. That's next on the Bronco Coaches Show after this timeout.
How far do you have to go to find a great deal on a new Ford SUV?
Not too far.
How about a new Ford F-150?
Not too far.
How about for basic maintenance and service?
Not too far at all. With Dorrance Ford's mobile service, we'll come to you.
Nice.
Now's the time to buy because we're making room for the 2025 Fords and moving out the 24s. Come in now for the best selection. Dorrance Ford is proud to support Bronco Athletics. Shop Dorrance Ford.
Not too far for your next car.
When a city has an airport, amazing things are possible. You fly local. It allows airlines to add more flights, more options, more destinations. The choices you make today help shape your airport now and in the future. So when a city has an airport, we're more connected than ever before. Fly local. Fly AZL.
The wait is over. The all-new Gun Lake Casino Resort is now open.
Flavor's a journey, not a destination. It's not just about the food, it's about the experience, it's about the cocktails, the wine, the tableside experience.
Brings everything together between the setting, the meal, the atmosphere, so we can actually get together and have a great time over a cocktail, maybe with a little showy smoke to it too, which is fun.
We've paid a lot of attention to details and making it an experience that you will remember.
Immerse yourself.
Back at Verdicts on our Coaches Show, the Bronco Coaches Show. You can watch it every Monday at 6:30 right here on YouTube Live, anytime on demand at WMUBroncos.com, or come on down to Verdicts and join us in person. We're here on Mondays starting at 6:30 talking Western Michigan sports, and joined now by the College Hockey National Coach of the Year, Coach of the National Champs for 2025, Pat Ferschweiler. First, how cool was that to have the last two national champions playing each other in Lawson Arena in front of a packed house Friday and Saturday? The games didn't go as you wanted, but that's pretty cool to have the two national champions going at it right here in town.
Big time contest both nights, obviously, Robin, and we would have loved different results. But I thought, especially Friday night, we played them exceptionally well, and they're a quality hockey team. We're obviously humbled by injuries right now, but 1-0 up with 10 minutes to play, and they find a way to get 2 goals. But on Saturday they scored easy, we didn't. But I thought there was still some quality hockey hidden in within that loss. But I mean, if you were at Lawson Arena, you saw 10 to 12 future NHL players in those games, and you saw some great hockey.
No doubt, and in particular, Friday, that first period was back and forth. You got on the board 5 minutes in. Zach Wisdom hit the post, and finally you got a bounce off the post, Coach. You've hit a lot of posts this year, and it deflected in off the goalie, and Zach, one of your new guys, got on the board.
That was a big-time play. We funneled it into the net, and, you have to have grit and toughness in sports to win, and I thought Zach showed some real grit and toughness there. And like you said, we've had a lot of posting out. It's cool to get a posting in this year.
That goaltender there is pretty good. He's a freshman. He's got some tremendous numbers, and you got to him a little bit more on Saturday. Pioneers came back in the third period and erased that 1-0 deficit, got a couple of goals and then an empty netter. But, man, that was an outstanding hockey game. The fans were treated to great hockey. And then you come back on Saturday. What'd you talk about going into game 2, trying to get a split?
Well, a lot of the stuff we were talking about and talked about all week was working, and it really worked all week or all weekend. And we just, like you said, their goaltender was up to the task. And scoring comes with, is done by confidence and calm. And I thought we needed to be a little more calm and savvy around the net, but their goaltender was outstanding both nights. And, we have one of the best goaltenders in the country, so we have lots of belief in Hampton, but their goalie was honestly outstanding both nights.
He really was. So you made a couple of changes. Some of them were due to injury, but you played some young guys in the back end. Jona Väisänen is out, going to be out for a while here, it sounds like. And so, and then you lost Zach Bookman for the Saturday game, and you got 2 freshmen back there playing against the 2024 national champions.
Both feet first into the deep end when you come in against Denver, and tons of speed, tons of skill, and those guys baptism by fire, no doubt. And they made a lot of good plays. But we also had some turnovers that allowed Denver to score easy. And when you allow a team that good to score easy, you're not going to win the hockey game. But hopefully lessons learned, and we can move forward and improve from that. And those guys can grab that valuable experience they can only get by playing.
Well, Grady Gallatin does not have experience, but he does have size, 6'5", and he snapped in a goal from the left point there, his first collegiate goal. I'm sure the guys were happy for Grady.
They were, and actually another guy, Ryan Kusler, was playing in his second college hockey game that night, and he got an assist on the play too. So 2 firsts on that same goal, pretty cool. Ryan played quality hockey for us all weekend long. Hyper aggressive with his feet, a great skater, elite skater in lots of ways, and real determined play there. And then Garrett Sadlowski throws up the point, and I thought it was a big time play by Grady to show a little deception and then filter that puck into the net. And when you have net front traffic, a lot of times they just find their way in, and that's what happened on that goal.
Ryan Kusler's a local guy from Battle Creek. Tony the Tiger was there on Friday, and Ryan got his first collegiate start, actually his first action after he sat out all of last season and practiced with your team. But he was outstanding in both of those games, Coach. I think you found a young centerman that can help you out.
For sure. We've known he was developing all last year. And, last year, obviously we had a record-breaking year in lots of ways, but also we had a record-breaking year in health. No one got hurt up front or on the back end, and that's part of the reason why we were able to win a championship is we had our entire team together all year. And so, but what Ryan did was not get deterred by lack of playing time, but got determined in his will to improve every day. And credit to that young man, because he when he got his chance, he came in ready to play and ready to succeed in his own level.
You get that opportunity, you got to be ready, and you got to take advantage of that opportunity. I thought Ryan did that. He made a sweet move on Friday, just a unbelievable wraparound, and that goalie we talked about made a spectacular save on Ryan, or he would have had his first collegiate goal.
There's no doubt, and when you have him in there, the hardest thing to do is be calm and have confidence in yourself offensively. Obviously, the work ethic comes, and that's the easiest thing to reproduce. But to have confidence with the puck is another thing, and I thought he showed it both nights.
He also moved Ty Hendricks around a little bit. This guy's been playing some great hockey. I can't believe he didn't score on one shot from the slot where, it was a split second. He got the pass and rifled it to the net, and the guy made another save. But you had him playing with Owen Michaels and Will Whitelaw, and after you watched the tape on those 2 games with Ty up there, what'd you see?
Well, I just saw Ty as a future NHL hockey player, and it looks like he's turned into a big-time prospect for the New York Rangers. And what he looks is like a 6'5" guy who can skate, can make plays, can be calm, and also be hyper-competitive at times. He was outstanding in the St. Cloud series when he played. He didn't finish, but he created lots. And, Ty's going to be a big-time player for us and a big-time player for the Rangers, I believe, in the future.
And then Grant Slukinski, one of your assistant captains, He's had a really good start to his junior season, and he kept him together with Zach Nearing and Liam Valente, and Liam got on the board again with a power play goal. He can really shoot that puck, and it was good to see the power play get a couple of goals there on Saturday.
It was. I think the power plays, then their play has actually outpaced their numbers at this point, but you have to shoot it in for it to count, no doubt. And Liam Valente's a dangerous threat over there. That line was together. It was one of the top scoring returning lines of college hockey. You know, they've been our best line all year long, and we need other lines to join them in our success. But Grant's a tremendous leader down the middle of that line. Zach Nearing on the right side, 6'5", big time prospect and a future Winnipeg Jet in the National Hockey League, no doubt. And Liam Valente has added a lot to that line. His calm, his skating, his belief in himself, and his rocket shot have really contributed to our success, no doubt.
Had some penalties in the Friday game, but your penalty kill was outstanding. Not so many penalties on Saturday, as Broncos, they just didn't take many. But whenever your penalty kill's out there, they seem to be doing a great job, Coach.
Well, all credit goes to Jason Herter, JJ Crew for designing that penalty kill and a scheme against each team that's going to be successful. The players, they're 5-on-4. That's a rare thing in sports where you kind of get to cheat almost, and you got to figure out how our 4 can stop their 5. It's a real art form, and they've done a great job of giving the guys a game plan. But then you have to sacrifice. The players have to sacrifice out there. They have to outwork the 5 against our 4, and then you have to have great goaltending behind that. Hampton certainly supplied it. So those three things working in concert have led to success on the penalty kill.
All right, longtime rivals going at it this weekend, Friday and Saturday at Lawson Arena, back-to-back weekends. This weekend it's the Miami Redhawks, Coach, and they're vastly improved.
They are. Their coach, Anthony Noreen, does a great job of literally retooling their roster. I think they have 4 returning players from last year, but he's upgraded their skill, he's upgraded their belief, and they've had lots of success early, especially out of conference. But it's a talented team. It'll be a fun series.
All right, and they always play the Broncos hard. These will be difficult games. You're going to have to bring your best.
Well, there's no doubt. And no matter where they're ranked, no matter where they are, this rivalry brings out the best in both teams. So I'm expecting a tight, hard-fought series this weekend.
He's the National Coach of the Year, the coach of the defending national champion Broncos. Get out there to Lawson Arena this weekend and watch Western Michigan and Miami if you can come up with a ticket at wmubroncos.com/tickets. Coach, it's great to see Lawson packed, standing room only, every night you guys play.
Well, deservedly so. I think our guys have put a product on the ice that people can be proud of and people that want to watch. It's an exciting brand of hockey. Obviously, we're attacking and we're playing offensive style. So come out to Lawson. We'd love to have you there.
Coach Pat Ferschweiler with us. Coach, thanks for the time and good luck this weekend. We'll see you over there.
Thanks, Robin.
We'll take one more break and we'll come back and talk football. The Broncos right in the hunt for a spot in that MAC championship game. They've got a big match tomorrow against the Ohio Bobcats. We're going to preview it next with the head coach of the Bronco football team, Lance Taylor. So we wrap up the Bronco Coaches Show, but first this time out, we'll be right back.
Flavor is a journey, not a destination. It's not just about the food, it's about the experience, it's about the cocktails, the wine, the tableside experience.
Brings everything together between the setting, the meal, the atmosphere, so we can actually get together and have a great time over a cocktail, maybe with a little showy smoke to it too, which is fun.
We've paid a lot of attention to details and making it an experience that you will remember.
Immerse yourself at Brick and Brine.
At 2 Men and a Truck, we'll treat you and your belongings like we'd treat our own grandmas.
Here we go! Hi, hello there.
Welcome. Whether we're moving you across town or even across the country.
Sprain, strain, or broken bone? Bronson makes it easy to get the orthopedic care you need, often as soon as the same day. Our providers treat patients ages 5 and older, with convenient appointments in Battle Creek, Marshall, Kalamazoo, and South Haven. From diagnosis to treatment, our goal is to get you feeling better as soon as possible. Call us when you need orthopedic care. Learn more at bronsonhealth.com/same day.
Here at Sealy Select on 9th, We're living up to our name with select pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs to choose from at competitive prices. We also have a select Sealy service department offering same-day service on all makes and models with no appointment necessary, including Saturdays. It's all part of our commitment to a better guest experience. Find out why we say better is just better. Better see Sealy Select on 9th.
Robin Hook back with you at Verdicts. We're here on Mondays at 6:30 talking Western Michigan sports with the Bronco coaches, student athletes, and staff, and talking football now because it's November, it's Maction, and a big one coming up Tuesday night at Waldo Stadium, the Broncos and the Ohio Bobcats. Both teams 4-1 in a four-way tie for first. Most likely, two of the four teams tied at 4-1 are going to play for our MAC championship in early December. But I know, Coach, you wanted to make mention of an incident that happened last week that took one of our Broncos off the planet, and it was a very sad day last Thursday.
Yeah, I just wanted to, send condolences to Marshawn's family, his girlfriend, everybody who knew him. He meant so much to this program, to this university, to our team, to me personally. And, it was heartbreaking to hear the news. He was such a special young man, such a great teammate. He cared about others. And so you hate to lose anybody that you're close with, but it affected so many of us, Broncos that loved him and followed him. I did want to send our condolences out to him. And, just like I told our team, it's our responsibility as coaches, leaders, teammates, family members, check on those that you love. Because I think so many times there are things that people are going through that you don't understand or you don't know, but you gotta ask. And the other part of it is, it's okay to not be okay. If there's something that's going on, find a way to get help and talk to somebody. I think that part of it, the stigma of, not wanting to let anybody inside to see what's wrong. We've got to be okay to not be okay. We're all dealing with things. And so if you need somebody to talk to, please reach out. We just want to send our thoughts, and we want to honor Marshawn by how we play this week. He was one of the hardest working guys on our football team. He was one of the most selfless guys on our team. And the way that we honor him is by how we show up, how we play. We can play for his legacy this weekend.
Well said. And what a big game coming up, Coach. 8 o'clock kick, Western Michigan and Ohio, and the nation is going to get a look at Bronco football from Waldo Stadium on ESPN2 tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Maction, baby. Nothing like it. And you know what? This Bronco team this year is built for November midweek Maction, the way you put this team together, Coach.
Yeah, here we go. Lights, camera, action. These are the games that you live for and you work for 365 days a year to play meaningful football in November. I mean, it's special. And, I think our team is excited. We've got such a great matchup. When you talk about the Ohio Bobcats, they're the defending MAC champions. They're 4-1 in MAC play. They just beat Miami of Ohio. They're well coached. They're disciplined. They have really good players. I'm excited to see how our team will respond and how we come out. Thankful grateful we get to play them here at Waldo in front of our home fans. What an electric crowd we had for freaking Central Michigan in the rivalry game. Thank you, Bronco Nation, for showing up and showing out. And please come out to Waldo tomorrow night. Our players, our team fed off of that energy, for rivalry week. And we need you on a Tuesday night. We get an opportunity in front of, a nationally televised crowd, ESPN, to really show the nation what Bronco Nation is all about and how special it is to be a Bronco. And it'll take all of us there tomorrow night to beat the Bobcats.
Certainly. Well, both teams coming off big wins over their arch rivals, the Broncos over Central Michigan, Ohio over Miami. And you start looking at the matchups. They've got a great quarterback in Parker Navarro. You've got an outstanding quarterback in Brock Lowry. Let's start there.
Yeah, I think when you look at each team, right, we're so similarly built, but also I think it's a great matchup in all three phases. We've got our work cut out for us. Parker Navarro is one of the great players in our league. He was the MVP of the championship game last year as they're defending MAC champions, and I think he's done a really nice job. What he does so well is he distributes the football to the playmakers. They've got playmakers at the running back position, wide receiver, tight end. They've also got a great O-line, but he can hurt you with his arm or his arms or his legs by running the football. And I think we have to do a great job just staying disciplined, making sure that we stay in tune to where he is and get him down on the ground and do a great job with our game plan.
But unlike past years when the Broncos had maybe more of a pro-style quarterback, you've got a quarterback who can get the job done with his legs or his arm too, Brock Lowry. Talk about his effort in that Central Michigan game and all season long since he really took over that role.
Yeah, Brock Lowry, he's a warrior and he's a winner. And I think there's something to be said about that. One, you see how tough he is, how competitive he is when he runs the football, when he stands in the pocket and makes throws on critical downs like fourth down or in the face of pressure. He does such a great job leading our offense with a calm presence. But, Brock is able to succeed because of everybody around him. That's the thing that you love about football. It's not about one individual. It's such a great team sport, and you have to rely on all other 10 guys to do their job and do it really well. And I think that's where Brock has had success is he helps the other guys around him do their job well and play at a high level because of the standard that he sets. But he needs the O-line, he needs the tight ends, he needs the receivers, he needs the running backs, just like they need him, and we do need him to play really well. But he's played his best when the game is the biggest and it's on the line, and I think that's what makes him special.
The quarterbacks and the running backs and the wideouts, they get all the publicity, but the game is won at the line of scrimmage, and particularly in November, Maction Coach, the team that wins the line of scrimmage against the Bobcats and the Broncos is going to win this football game.
Yeah, I think the game of football is won in the trenches. Not just this game, not just in November, not just in Maction. You talked about it. Football is a physical sport that's won, on each side of the line of scrimmage. And, really proud of how our offensive line has played. We've played multiple guys. We've had some injuries there at O-line, and guys have stepped in like Raheem Anderson, Hunter Whiteneck, Vander Vest, Zach Vaughn. We've played multiple guys on our offensive line, and we continue to play at a high level. And then you look at our defensive line, what they've done creating those havoc plays. They've allowed us, both sides of the football have allowed us to play a physical style of play, which we want to play, and gritty football. We've said we want to be a gritty blue-collar team. That's where it starts, is in the trenches.
Well, last week you accomplished that goal of getting the victory cannon back. Now trying to accomplish the goal of beating Ohio and moving on. Coach, what's it going to take tomorrow night against Ohio?
Yeah, it's going to take our best effort, and really it comes down to, I say this every week, Robin, and everybody, but we just have to be disciplined to do our job and go 1-0. It's got to be the next play mentality. Let's not look at the scoreboard. Let's not worry about the weather. Let's not worry about, nationally televised. All those, it's a senior night. We're honoring Marshawn. There are a lot of great and really neat things going on, including, salute to service, honoring our military vets. So there's so many neat things going on in this game that are really important to a lot of people. But for us coaches and players, we have to be locked in on doing our job and really just doing it one play at a time for 60 minutes, and the score will take care of itself. We're going to have to play an excellent game. We're playing an excellent team that's well coached. I know they'll be ready. They've played in a lot of big games, and so I'm excited to see how our team responds in a big game atmosphere tomorrow night at home.
All right, and get there early to honor your senior class. You got a bunch of seniors playing their final game at Waldo.
We do. We have 24 that we're honoring tomorrow, 24 seniors that will play their last game in front of our home crowd tomorrow. It's special to be able to honor those guys, and it's been a great group. I tell you, we've had such great leadership. We've built such a great culture in our third season here, and it's because of those guys laying the foundation, but also the player-led accountability that they show up. They hold the standard and hold everybody accountable to the standard every single day, and that's what special teams do.
Broncos against the defending MAC champ Ohio Bobcats, and Coach, can't wait. Good luck against Ohio, and let's keep it going, all right?
Thanks, Robin. Can't wait to see everybody at Waldo tomorrow night. Go Broncos.
Lance Taylor, as we wrap up our Bronco Coaches Show for this week. We'll be back here next Monday talking basketball and volleyball and whoever shows up. We'll talk with them about the Broncos, because that's what we do on the Monday Night Bronco Coaches Show, live on YouTube or anytime on demand at WMUBroncos.com. Thanks to the staff here at Burdick's, all of our guests tonight. I'm Robin Hook. Thanks for watching. See you next week on the Bronco Coaches Show.